You know what's crazy is that I was gonna start this video with the topic of Bloom, but Raven Software just tweeted that they reduced Bloom and they have plans to remove it completely from the game in the future. Hallelujah! Listen, if they went through and actually implemented that into the game, Warzone would have been in such a critical state, it's not even funny. But I gotta give it to Raven Software because they have been going crazy with these updates. Just now they tweeted that they were nerfing Vanguard guns. That was another topic that I was going to discuss. Getting on top of balancing those guns and getting them in the mix along with the other guns. Just last night at midnight, they nerfed a whole bunch of Cold War guns. Bye-bye to the EM2, bye-bye to the OTS. PPSH out of the conversation. Yo, a lot has been going on in the past 48 hours, and this is nothing like how when the Cold War integration first started, where we had to wait months just for them to update something with the Cold War guns. Nope, they're on top of this. This is what we needed months ago, and they're finally doing it. Now, getting back into the discussion of how this update affected Warzone, there's so many other factors that we haven't talked about, and I'm just gonna start off with the map. I think this map is beautiful. I see a lot of people bashing it just because it has hills and trees. I could see your perspective on that, but I honestly don't think it's such a big issue that you can't get used to it. Here's what I think. I think that because everyone is so used to such a flat ground game and so much open areas from how it was on Verdansk, people just don't want to adjust. You know, everyone's so used to it that they want it to be just like how that was. And sometimes it does get annoying running up hills. You know, it is kind of tiring, but it's just something that we're not used to because we're used to such a faster pace game. You just gotta adjust to the changes and get used to it. This is literally what we asked for. We asked for something brand new and they gave it to us. Now moving on to the biggest topic, which we already know where I'm going with this. I discussed this in my previous video. I won't go too in depth about it other than what my experience has been so far, but it's the loadouts. With the loadouts dropping after the first circle now, it has slowed down the pace of the game tremendously. That is just definitely something that needs to get reverted. You know, being aggressive and getting your guns and then keeping it moving, everyone's used to that play style, and now you're forcing people to play at a much slower pace. You know, it sucks. Now, I can't speak for everybody else. You may think differently, but I personally like fast-paced games. Everyone enjoys watching and being part of high kill games, and those high kill games come from loadouts dropping early because you get your money, you get your loadout, and then you're out hunting for the rest. And what makes this even more of a slower paced game now is the ground loot. As I mentioned earlier, they're starting to get to the guns, they're starting to nerf and buff them, which is amazing. And I don't expect them to do everything in the start. You know, that's what it's about. That's what metas are for. Metas are for people to discover broken things. Everyone starts using them, and then after a specific time, they do their nerfs and buffs, and then a new gun comes up, and then it's the same thing, repeat, until we finally have a balanced game. Now, that could take months, right? But for us to enjoy a game where we're waiting for loadouts to drop after the first circle, we need to have a good ground base for floor loot. I mean, you can't expect us to come from such a fast-paced game and use this horrible floor loot on top of that. It just doesn't match. You get what I'm saying? Like, it has to be one or the other. And that was part of the beauty of getting loadout early. Yeah, everyone would get their loadouts and they would use the meta guns. That was like your average player. But there was other people who would be using different guns, trying them out, and they have their own specific setups for that, which they enjoyed. But if we're gonna have floor loot that is just random and it has specific attachments on it, how are we supposed to know if these guns are good or not? How are we supposed to enjoy them? We're never gonna know what these guns are like if we can't even survive to get loadout. The last topic that I want to touch up on briefly is the anti-cheat. I personally have not ran into a cheater yet. I haven't seen anyone being sus, any aimbotting, and I've seen people who posted TikToks who live in the Asia region, and they're saying this anti-cheat is the one. They're saying it works perfectly. Some people who have had hacks, they tried it just to see how the anti-cheat is, and they got banned immediately. Even up to a map radar, I don't even know how this works. I always just thought it was wall hacks or aimbot. I'm hearing other shit. So listen, I just want y'all to keep in mind, the new update literally just came out. There's no reason why anyone should be jumping to conclusions. I mean, the update hasn't even been out for a week. Just enjoy it and look at what Raven Software is actually doing this time, and appreciate that, because they weren't doing this before. And like I said, they already rolled out, I think it was 3 updates in the last 48 hours. Things like this and satisfying the community is not an easy task. As much as I bash them and as much as I rant off, at the end of the day, they are doing a job that is not easy. And yeah, I mean, there are some things that they could have brushed up on, like listening to the community right away when there's something that's broken, and not leaving a broken DMR in the game for a month plus. I don't know, but you understand what I'm getting at. There's certain things that you just can't let go. Like, it's right there in front of your face. It's a no-brainer. But anyways, to wrap up the video, that is my thoughts on the new Caldera update. If there's anything that I missed, any topics that you guys want to bring up, let me know in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, please smash the subscribe button, because I will be dropping the first class setup of Vanguard very soon. Make sure you check that out. With that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace!